It Ends With Us is the newest movie coming to the big screen, so let's talk about it. It Ends With Us is the newest movie starring Blake Lively. Can you believe that? We got Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and now we got Blake Lively starring in a film. Talk about a power, fortnight going on for this couple. Anyway, we're here to talk about It Ends With Us. So, this is a movie that a lot of people have been excited for. There's a book about it. So, how do I feel about it? Now, I'm someone that hasn't read the book, so I have no idea what was going in. But, you know what? It's Blake Lively. She's a great actress. I go see every movie, so why not this one? My thoughts on this movie. I have pros to the movie and cons to the movie. So, starting off with the pros of this movie. Blake Lively is superb. She is brilliant, as are the other actors and actresses throughout the film. Fantastic performances. Have no issues with that whatsoever. I thought that was all great. Cinematography-wise, fantastic as well. That all worked. I thought the characters themselves, especially Lily, who's played by Blake Lively, you really connect with that character and what was going on with her in her childhood to who she is today as an adult. So they immediately get you connected with her. So as you're going throughout this whole entire movie, you are rooting for her. You want her to be happy. You want her to be successful because you have that attachment with her. So I thought they did that character justice. So I really, really enjoyed all of that. I think some of the characters were a bit underutilized in this film. Maybe the book, dives into that a little bit more. I also really did like the transition from Lily being an adult to flashbacking towards her as a child and what she went through, how she met, this guy, what she did. And I thought that was a very good way with editing choices to symbolize what actually went on and why she has an affection for this guy, why they were so close, what happened, and also dealing with the traumatic experience that she had and what triggers that. So that gave us some backstory to the triggers to why she acts the way she does in certain situations when things happen. So I thought that was all done really, really well. Now, some of the things I think didn't work. Firstly, there is a lot of time jumping in this movie from just random points. Now, I feel like, look, when this is another problem that does happen with movies when you are trying to adapt a book into a movie, especially when you're trying to adapt it into 2 hours. There is so much depth in a book. There is so much detail that you got to try and figure out which ones are the important ones to get the message across in the characters, in the story and everything like that. So with these time lapses where you just jump from one time to another time and you're trying to figure out, is this many months after this? Is this and that? So it didn't flow as well. There was moments where I was sitting there like, wait a second. When did this happen? All of a sudden, this is happening now. So it's been this long since this event. So there's moments like that throughout the film, which just doesn't work with when you're trying to make this really nice movie that is flowing. And with that, I feel like there are parts that I'm missing. Little, moments with characters that could make me tie a connection to that character to why they're doing this. Why are they feeling like this? Like, what was this character doing this period of time? So I feel like there are missed opportunities here. But then again, like I said, it's a book. To be able to adapt a book into a 2-hour movie, it's not easy. It really is not easy. So you're going to miss things here and there. So that kind of messed with it as well. Another thing that I felt like didn't work for me was the very first instance of an event that happens with Lily's character and the man that she's married to. There's an event that happens in there. And I don't know what it's like in the book, how you read it in the book, whether or not it comes across as more so of like done on purpose and there is actual, velocity and rage behind that instance that happens in there. But when they showed it in the movie and then they show you again of what actually happened, it kind of doesn't really fit. I mean, I'm trying to explain it without spoiling anything. I mean, book readers, you already know what one I'm talking about. Let's just I'm just going to say in a kitchen. It happens in a kitchen. I was kind of like, that's kind of a weird way to show that. And it didn't feel realistic. Now, I would say the second one felt more realistic of what happened. That I understand, being caught in the rage of the moment and everything like that. That totally felt real. The third one that happens felt real as well. There was motivation behind that, why he did that. Why was he going like that? Like the second one. The first one, it just kind of happened out of nowhere. So there was no like warning or any seeds planted to be like, oh, okay. Because the way that like the first whole like half of the film, it's about like this loving couple. And like this guy just seems like the perfect guy. He just did. And I was like, am I supposed to be rooting for this guy? Like what's going on here? And then when that happened, it kind of fell out of the blue. There was no seeds really planted. Like there's one moment when you first meet him and you're kind of like, okay. But like everyone does that. Everyone has had that moment where they do that. Doesn't mean you're going to go like beat up a woman. Doesn't mean you're going to go beat up a child or anything like that. So this kind of fell out of the blue. And when they show you like from Lily's point of view and what she saw, I was kind of like, that felt really unrealistic. That kind of felt like a cheap way to instigate this moment for this to then spiral out of control. So, you know, that to me was kind of like, okay. Some of the dialogue was a bit iffy here and there. But overall, I wouldn't say this is a horrible film. I think this is still a good film. It has its ups and downs. It has its, you know, bad moments, its good moments. Like the first whole act of it, like, you know, them getting to know, I think they built that relationship really, really well between Lily and her husband. I thought that was the strongest part to me, was the start, because this felt like, it really almost felt like a rom-com in a way, where you're watching two people just fall in love, and I really enjoyed that. But then I feel like in the second half of the film, it kind of lost its way with the jumping of the time, you know, time period. Like here we go, we're 4 months in advance, now we're 8 months, now this, that. And then the ending, it's very predictable of where it's going to go and what's going to happen. So as you get towards the end, the ending doesn't feel satisfying. It really doesn't. It just kind of feels like, it's a cheap way to end it. Like I said, maybe the book, if you read the book people who have read it might be able to tell me this. There's probably a lot more detail and scenes and everything like that in the book that give a bit more, context and a bit more substance to the characters and the relationships and the events that occur and the ending as well. So, but like I said, man, it's always hard to adapt a book into a 2-hour film. So I got to give them credit for doing it. And I think they did a good job. I really think they did a good job adapting the book into a 2-hour film. Book readers might not agree. They might be like, this is nowhere near as good as the book. And there's a lot of films like that just don't live up to the book standard. So let me know what you guys think of the movie. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash down the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.